So, Coach, big matchup against Sacramento this tomorrow night. They're the best team right now in terms of points in the Western Conference and USL. What can you say about them as a team, and how have you guys been preparing this week in practice?
Good team, experienced team. Had a great Open Cup run last year, and has been pretty much on top of the league and the Western Conference all year. So they'll be a handful. We're starting to get healthy. And we've obviously been on a good run, unbeaten run. So we're at home. It's a game we want to win. I think it's two good teams, and we're going to know a lot more after the game. But it's certainly a game that we want to perform well and hopefully get some momentum, because we've got Louisville again on Wednesday.
Albert and Robbie have been trying to make their way back through injury. How have they been this week in practice?
They're getting there. Obviously it takes time, and they're quality players. Hopefully we're able to hold our levels high, and when they come back and join us, that's going to add some impetus with those guys. But they've worked hard with their rehab, and as a group, I think guys have stepped up, but there's no doubt they're key figures for us.
You added a new forward this week in Juan Carlos Obregon. What can you say about him as a player, and what made him such an attractive player to bring into the team?
He's scored goals in this league. He's got good feet, good movement in the box. Can link play. He's crafty, he's creative. So I think he's a good player to add to that core. It's nice to see that Tola and Kiza have been able to step up in Dikwa's absence, in different ways, and maybe not all the goal production that we'd like, but certainly Tola's gotten a couple. Kiza is really, consistent with his work ethic, and, has been able to hold the ball, bring people in. So, I like our forwards where we're going. I think, our young guys need to continue to grow, and hopefully JC can be part of that, making us better up top and giving us more options, not just in the starting lineup, but off the bench as well.
Luis Amudio's been in his monthly loan deal from DC United. How have you seen him progress over this month, and what do you hope to see from him these last 3 games he's here?
Well, he's done well. I think he has a presence, and he's been pretty consistent. I think he's read the game well and covered our back line. He's dealt with crosses, made a few big saves. So, I think it was a good move for us, and hopefully he can stay on that path, these last few games here. Jamaica's doing well at the Gold Cup, so, Jamali will be back once they lose, but I think they're going to be playing a few more games. So, hopefully Zamudio can keep his form, and we can keep winning.
A lot of former players from a lot of former Riverhounds players in that Sacramento side, Cicerone and Weed are 2 of them. What can you say about having to face some of your former players tomorrow night?
They're good players, so Sacramento obviously did their homework. They were able to get him there. Vidiello went the year before, and I know those guys are close. So there's 3 of them there that I would expect to see in the starting lineup tomorrow night. So it's not going to be easy. Obviously, our guys that have played with them are familiar, and they'll have some familiarity with our guys. But there's a lot of different players, on both teams. We actually played Sacramento last year in Sacramento to a 1-1. So we'll see. There's 2 good teams. We'll see on the night which team can get out of here with the 3 points.
Nathan DeSantos picked up a pretty difficult injury against San Diego previous game. How's he been trying to come back, and what's he been dealing with so far?
Yeah, we still think there's probably another 3 weeks or so with Nate. So it's a big miss. We would have liked to have had him available for Louisville, but just trying to get him healthy. The trainers and the AHN staff have done a really good job, with our guys getting him back in a timely manner. Unfortunately, it's part of it in the season. You're going to have guys down for stretches, and it's one of the reasons we want to have a deep squad. And I think other guys have stepped up when given the opportunity, and that's going to be important for us the rest of the way.
And you've been spoken about previously, I believe, last post game about trying to create tempo through the midfield. How have you been trying to work through that this week, and what have you been trying to get the midfield to do to try and create some more chances going forward?
Well, some of it for us is to be available early so that we have outlets. Sometimes we work hard defensively, we're a little late to give those outlets, and I think the first couple of passes when you gain possession are critical to open your shape, to allow players to get into good areas. If you don't find the first couple of passes, you're defending again. So, that's a big thing for us. We're trying to really simplify. Sometimes we get a ball in a good area and we want to rush the first pass we see. And sometimes it's the choices we make which lead to the turnovers. If you're trying to play a low percentage pass when you have a simple option, we'd rather take the simple option and stay in possession. And then I think some of the times we struggle is we don't, when we play a pass, we don't get in higher positions or move off of that pass. And I think as midfielders, a lot of balls come to your feet. You got to create tempo. You got to be available. But I also know it's important for midfielders to make runs forward, to create spaces for defenders to come forward. So sometimes we get in games and we're in our half and we want to go forward, but we got to get midfielders to get higher up the pitch. You need options in front of the ball, and that's something we're working on as well. That when we're in attack, we got to get numbers in front of the ball. It's hard to go forward. It's hard to be dangerous if you don't have numbers in front of the ball. The guy on the ball needs to look up and see forward options and dangerous options running in behind or in higher spots where they can be dangerous. So there's a lot we're trying to work on, and obviously Sacramento hopefully will bring the best out of us. We generally played the big games pretty well, and it's another big game for us. So hopefully we have a little more possession of the ball than we did last week against Louisville, but I expect an intense game, and we're gonna do everything we can to try and get 3 points.